Welcome all sports fans. I'm Dolph Jackson, one of the hosts of the Come On In Sports Network, a brand new sports network catered to sports heads like yourselves. Here on the Come On In Sports Network, we'll be covering the latest topics and current sporting news from around the world, such as baseball, football, basketball, and more. So sit back. NFL Nation, how you doing, baby? We are back, baby. We are live. Welcome to As the NFL Turns, baby. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dolph Jackson, and also I'm also a coach on the 47U football team. Shout out to my fellow coaches on the 7U squad. And I'm joined tonight by one of your hosts, the other host of As the NFL Turns. This man needs no introduction, but in case you've been under a rock, he's the host of Uneducated Sports Talk. Mr. Carlos is in the building. Carlos, my brother, how you doing?
Man, we doing it, man. We doing it. This is PJ as well, you guys. She says, is she chopped liver? No, she's not chopped liver.
No, you're not chopped liver, PJ. You know your brother gonna get to you. I got you, PJ. I'll go give you a special. I'll give you a special introduction, but you ain't giving me time, PJ. We just started now.
She said, my bad. Go ahead and do it.
All right, now, his co-host, the one and only, this person family, has an unblemished record when it comes to picking games. This person has a astonishing 375 wins to 0 losses when she's picking games. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the co-host of Uneducated Sports Talk, the one and only PJ. PJ, how you doing?
She said I was very lovely. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness.
All right, fam. Listen, we want to welcome everybody in tonight. Listen, we're gonna be doing the AFC preview. Last week we took care of the NFC. And listen, family, you already know the doors are not open, so come on in. This is the Come On In Sports Network, and we're alive, baby. As we get ready to hit the chat, I see Mr. Booker Rankins. Thank you for being here. Below Zero is in the house. Boy, I see a lot of who that's coming in here. I see the one and only Uncle Jerry is in the house. Derek L is in the house. Who else is in the house, baby? Samuel, how you doing? Come on in. Like Samuel said, man, like, subscribe, and hit that bell, man. Below Zero. Thank you, my brother. Look, thank everybody who was here on YouTube, X, Facebook. We appreciate each and every single one of you.
Thanks.
And listen, Cutdown Day was Tuesday. Some surprise cuts and some that really weren't so surprising. big news today for America's team, those who love the Cowboys. Dalvin Cook is now a member of the Dallas Cowboys, a move that I think was needed. But, Carlos, I'm going to ask you this before we get into our preview. Do you think Dalvin Cook is on the downside of his career?
Yes, unfortunately. When you become that one running back in today's NFL, and you take that pounding, I mean, pause, but you take that kind of beating, and then you go from team to team where schemes are different now, and it was all lovely when it was under
right
with the Vikings because he had been in that same system for a while, but you start changing teams and systems and schemes, and then you've got to now do the reacting all over again, and now you're getting there in age because what's that number? 27. Once you turn like 27,
29, 30. Yeah.
They're saying 27 now.
No, man, it went to 27 now. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm watching Hard Knocks, right? And they're talking about Saquon Barkley and the GMs, and they're saying, they're like, well, analytics say that 27 and older now, you turn 27, it's your downfall. So right now, I gotta say, as far as if you look at him as the Dalvin Cook of old, he's not that person anymore. But he can still be utilized in ways to help your team. But it's not a coincidence. We saw him for the Jets, and he didn't play at all for New York. It was kind of, I get it, Aaron Rodgers is gone, but they had no need for him at all in New York, and it was kind of a wasted year, wasted opportunity. Right. And hopefully he can establish himself with Zeke and company to be just part of the rotation. That's all they need, just be part of the rotation and just get timely runs when needed. So hopefully we won't see the Dalvin Cook of old, we won't, but hopefully we can see a renewed Dalvin Cook to put some pressure on defenders this year.
Good, right. I mean, listen, when he was at his peak, man, he was special.
He was, yeah.
I still, like you said, I still think he can be a productive back if used correctly. And then really, I can't really get a full assessment of him last year because Zach Wilson was your quarterback in New York.
Right.
Yeah, so, I would have loved to see, I would have liked to see him with Aaron Rodgers this year to see, with that him and Breece Hall as a 1-2 punch, man. That would have been nice. But like you say, now he comes to Dallas. It's going to be him, Zeke, Dow. Those are going to be your three running back by committee members for the Dallas Cowboys. I see Zeke more as your short yardage back. I see Cook right now as your receiving back.
Right.
Out of the backfield, throw him in the slot, and Dow as your, north, south, east, west runner. So
if there's a positive, I mean, he's fresh. There's a positive. He's super fresh. So there's really no excuses to not really have a decent year if you get utilized. So that's one positive. He is fresh. He didn't play at all last year. So the beats he took the first 4 years of his career, I mean, they should be washed away. And we'll see. But I like the pick up Dallas. It was much needed, like you said.
Yeah, it was needed.
Because Zeke is definitely on the tail end of his career. He's not the Zeke of 4 years ago himself. So a running back by committee should be, and I think you said it earlier, I think Dallas, he might take the number one spot,
Yeah. I just see Zeke at this stage of his career being a show. I mean, his last year in Dallas, he did have 12 touchdowns. He essentially was used as the short yardage back goal line.
The short yardage. And I think if they're smart to do the same thing this year, using the short yardage situations, any third and short, any second and short, use Zeke, take that 1 yard and a half yard, whatever. At this point in his career, he's not going to get you 100 yards in a game. He's not going to burst. I think his last decent year, he didn't have any runs of 20-plus yards, I believe. But he still got your touchdowns.
Hey, that's all. At the end, that's all that matters. Fantasy. If Zeke go out and score 10, 12 touchdowns in fantasy this year, you loving it.
Right.
You loving it, man.
Right.
Below zero says if Dallas will run something similar to a pass and shoot with him, Dak rolling out the pocket, it puts big pressure on your corners. It could be ugly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But tonight is the AFC preview, baby, and we about to start. Let's start in the AFC South. All right. We're being joined by the other host of As the NFL Turn, the newest member of the Come On In Sports Network family and host Beware of the Stampede and Come On Bills, the one and only. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What's going on, Dolph? How are you?
What's up, Jeremy?
We doing good, my brother. We doing good. Thank you for joining us tonight, brother.
Yeah, sorry to be late to the party.
Hey, man. This is how we rock, man.
Better late than never.
That's it, man. So, Carlos, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this segment, my brother.
All right. Well, for the AFC South, it's pretty simple. It's the Texas division to lose, right? They've clearly made themselves the front runners. You can thank C.J. Stroud for that. Obviously, the greatest rookie quarterback season we've seen in my personal life, and straight domination. Now, I've got them at 11 wins this year, but if you look at that schedule, and this is for all the AFC South teams, they have a brutal schedule. Brutal schedule.
Look at that.
If it was light enough, you could have saw the Texans getting 12, 13 plus wins, but I got them 11 wins, and it was kind of tough to find those wins. Now, as far as the Jaguars, might be the most disappointing team in the division because you expected those guys with Trevor Lawrence and company to rise to the occasion and be top tier. I think this year they'll be once again in the middle of the pack. But before we get started on particular divisions, the conference as a whole, the AFC conference is just nasty, and it's scary. Right, from top to almost bottom, this conference is insane. So when you look at teams like the Colts and the Jaguars, them plus like 9 more teams are going to be fighting for 500, fighting for that last playoff spot. Man, it's going to be hectic, crazy, and I think these guys are going to knock it out week by week as it goes until week 18. But I like the Texans; they're your favorites. Look what DeMeco Ryans has done. He's already got that defense. They're young on both sides. Their defense is humming, right? They have their offense with the addition of Stephon Diggs. Jeremy knows about that. He's going to just make them better, in my opinion, as long as him and Stroud stay on the same page.
I actually got my doubts about that. And it's not about his talent. It's about his mentality.
No, you're right about that. But here's what I was saying about that, though. Think about who has Diggs' quarterbacks been, right? Look at the mild-mannered Kirk Cousins, right? the Midwestern Josh Allen, very, very polite per se.
Right, okay.
C.J. Stroud, yes, he's light-skinned, but he's still a brother. So the way the communication is going to be back and forth might be a little more cussing, a little more slang, a little more say, bro, chill out type of mentality. I'm not the dudes. I'm not the other dudes, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's keep it real. I ain't the white dudes, you know?
Yeah.
So don't come at it. So I think there might be a little check and balance when it comes down to Stroud and Diggs. First of all, Stroud can say, bro, you saw like I did last year without you with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Don't come here and act like you just
really without Tank Dell. Because Dell missed most of the season.
He didn't even play.
Yeah, exactly. So the kid from the Cowboys that came to the tight end, what's his name?
Dalton Schultz.
Look what I did with that. So we need you, but we don't really need you. If that makes sense. So I'm just saying.
Don't forget they got Joe Mixon too now.
That's what I was about to. I just finished that question.
We not about to sit here and play temper tantrum wide receiver when you don't get a look for a full quarter. Stop that. We got a lot of dubs around here, and we have Super Bowl hopes now, which is very weird to say about the Texans, but they have Super Bowl hopes. So yeah, I think Diggs will find his place. They'll have slight banter. That's just Diggs' personality. But as far as the over the top antics, I doubt that happens this year.
And then you gotta look at who the coach is. You know what I'm saying? DeMeco Ryans. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna go for that. You know,
a brother. He's not gonna play that. You know.
Yeah. Now, how big an impact do you see the addition of Joe Mixon with the Texas being an actual threat coming out the backfield? No disrespect to the previous backs, man, but Joe Mixon is he's a notch up. He's an improvement to what they had last season.
Super. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, if you look at it, you had Singletary, which he's kind of been passed around some at this point. You had Pierce, which, he ended up losing the starting job pretty early on in the season. Mixon's I'm not a huge Mixon fan myself, even though I love OU. Never really liked him, but he's a workhorse. I mean, he's a guy that's going to come in there, he's going to grind out yards, same as he did in Cincinnati. I mean, But you put him in that kind of a lineup, now you're forced to have to play back because you've got 3 solid receivers, you got a solid tight end, and you can't always just crowd the line expecting them to run. So I think it's going to open up the run game a lot for them this year. And honestly, I don't see anybody stopping them in this division. I would say if I had to pick a second team, it'd be the Colts. But they're going to be nasty. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with that team. They're going to put up a lot of points.
And looking at their schedule, I see them being 4-0 heading into that game against Buffalo on October the 6th. Because they start off with the Colts, then they got the Bears, the Vikings, the Jags. I mean, they can actually be looking at 4-0 heading into that showdown with the Bills on October the 6th.
Facts.
So speaking of the Colts, let's go to the Colts. Are the Colts their biggest threat in that from denying them the division?
I think so. I mean, if I've got to pick a team, Jaguars always seem to fall flat. Tennessee is going to be okay, but I think that's about it. But you got a healthy Anthony Richardson. You've got Trey Sermon coming in backup running back, a healthy Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you got some power in there. I mean, they're definitely going to be able to run the ball better this year than they did last year for sure, assuming Sermon comes back and he's ready for week 1. Wide receivers, you got a Donnie, you got Downs, and you still got Pittman. So AR is going to be the wild card. He doesn't have a lot of experience. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest knock against him.
But guess what? Guess who's their backup? Old man Winter. Old man Winter done changed locations, baby. Easy injured, so they got a hell of a backup plan. I'm telling you that. We saw what old man Joe did last year in Cleveland. Now he got a dome. Now he can play in the dome. Oh, yeah. And listen, when you look at this coach starting offense, projected starting offense of Richardson, Taylor, Pittman, Downs, and Adonai Mitchell, Colin Grayson will be the tight end, but Mo Alley Cox, he had his moments last year. Yeah. The thing is, to me, is who would be that back to spell Jonathan Taylor? Would it be Trey Sermon? The other running back is Tyler Goodson. That's going to be the thing to me. As far as the running game, we know when healthy, Jonathan Taylor is special. He's one of the best backs in the National Football League. Anthony Richardson, I think, was off to a good start to his rookie year before he got injured. I think playing behind having a veteran Super Bowl winning quarterback in your locker room, probably, and I'm guessing they have Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson locker right next to each other, so he can drop that wisdom on him, man. I'm definitely interested to see what this young man can do. And like you guys say, he's the wild card.
Yep.
If he comes out and he lives up to and plays up to his capabilities and the immense talent and upside that he has, it can really be a struggle in this division between the Texans, the Colts, but I'm not ready like everyone is to count the next team out, the Jaguars.
Yeah, so my thing is, I think Below Zero had said something earlier. We're at the dog in Jacksonville, right? When it comes down to that final month of some change of the season, where's that killer instinct to win some games to end? I mean, it was there for the taking last year, and they just kind of choked it away. But it's almost been like this how it usually goes for the Jaguars these days. The talent is there. The quarterback talent is there. The young defensive talent is there. They don't have one star player on defense, but they have a good enough young core. Right. I'm not going to count them out either. As a matter of fact, I have them with a better record than the Colts. That's number 2 spot.
Okay.
And then fighting last week for a playoff spot. But ultimately, I think they end up 9-8, and another choke job, I would say, because of how the season's ended for them. I'm just keeping it real right there. But everything's there. It's it's almost like it's just the mentality. Jacksonville is a team, a franchise that is fine with being relevant. They don't have to necessarily go to the playoffs. Can we just be talked about for a while, right? Can we just be good enough to be on a segment of Good Morning Football or whatever, Sports Center, right? They're fine with that. So until that mentality changes, until the quarterback sunshine says, hey, enough with we are the bottom tier franchise and no respect. I want to win. I want to win playoff games. I want to win Super Bowls. I want to win that. He's got to have that mentality. He's got to put that into his team, into his coaches as well. Until then, though, they'll always be with this talent in the middle of the AFC. 9-8, fighting for a playoff spot.
Now, when you take a look at the offensive repertoire, I mean, you got Coach Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people lost their minds when the Jaguars decided to pay Trevor Lawrence. Listen, all that matters is what that organization and those in the building think when it comes down to it. It don't matter what we as the fans think or the national media think. All that matters is that those who run the Jacksonville Jaguars believe in Trevor Lawrence. And I personally still think Trevor Lawrence is a talented quarterback. Maybe it was just too much maybe it was just too much praise that was laid upon him coming into the league that everybody thought he was going to be this wonder child, this next Peyton Manning. He's still a young quarterback. I mean, he has gotten his franchise to the playoff. Travis Etienne is back, Christian Kirk. But I want to talk about two additions to the wide receiver room. Ooh. And Jeremy, I'm going to start with you. What does Gabe Davis bring to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I love Gabe Davis. He's one of my favorite players. I will miss him in Buffalo, even though he had a lot of boomer bust games. Obviously, he had those 4 tutties in the postseason to set the record. I like him. He is one of those guys, I think, unfortunately, with Diggs on that team, he struggled. Diggs was the number 1 guy for a long time, and Gabe Davis was either there as the vertical threat or not at all. I think he's going to be in a better position now to be more consistent than he was in Buffalo, because there would be games he'd go off for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next game, he might have 1 reception or no receptions for like 8 yards. So I think he's gonna be a big step up for them and give them an additional threat that they need. And I don't think he's just a vertical threat. Everyone always looks at him that way because that's how he's always been used. But I think he's got more opportunity. My biggest concern with him still, and always has been even back when he was in college, is his ability to catch the pass. He has a lot of drop passes still. So that's one thing he's going to have to clean up. But I think he's going to do really well in this offense. I really do. I hope he's successful there. He's on a good team to have a shot for it. As long as when he's playing the Bills, he ends up losing, because for some reason we always struggle against the Jags. So,
well, I mean, last year he had 45 receptions on 81 targets. For his career, he has averaged 16.7 yards per reception, and he has scored 27 touchdowns in his career. And listen, no one, with all due respect, has called Gabe Davis a number 1 receiver, but he's a number 2 and a highly talented number 3 receiver in any offense. I mean, big kid, 6'2", 210 pounds from Central Florida. And the other receiver that they went and took in the draft this year, Carlos, I'm going to come to you. Brian Thomas from LSU. What does this young man bring, you think, to the Jaguars?
Athleticism. A big man that can go and get it. See, they got the what's the little dude from Arizona? I hate to say the little dude. The one, Christian Kirk. That's what his name. Yeah. So with all the Christian Kirks of the world, those small scat receivers, and they do a great job. They do. Now you get someone that I can just sit there and go and get it. Just throw it on the left side, right side, whatever it is, 1-on-1. I can have a jump ball scenario, my last option, and I know that Thomas is there to maybe go up and get it. He's going to be a nice addition because now you have a safety valve at the receiving spot. Because these other little young dudes, remember last year there was Calvin Ridley, there was Christian Ridley's with the Titans now. We'll talk about Titans in a second, but they're just smaller receivers who couldn't really win a lot of desperation footballs. Now you got a guy that could just flat out go get it, right? And he's gonna make he'll make Lawrence better as a quarterback. You know, because sometimes just that safety valve being there really helps out.
Right. And on defense, not to be not to overlook their additions on defense. I love the addition of former 49ers tackle Eric Armstead to pair him up with young Trayvon Walker. And like you said, they don't have a bad defense.
No,
They
no big names, but they as a unit, they can get the job done.
They can get the job done. I like young cornerback Tyson Campbell.
Hold on,
I like him.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Why you always do that with the coach, man? Because now I want to coach. That's back-to-back streams now. He done had a coach in his hand, and you might as well be on a commercial now because it looks so damn good.
Cherry Coke.
It's cherry Coke.
One of the few times I've ever ended up drinking soda.
All right. I've been trying to stay away from Cokes, man, but it's tough these days. I've been killing them, man. And I've seen it. I'm like, oh my God.
Carlos, I'm switching to water for the next show, brother.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry, this nigga's so damn good, man.
Yeah, they got me wanting the soda. I know I can't drink shit right now.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I'll be on the floor. Yeah, man, look. I'm done. Yeah, your boy had 2 wisdom tooth pulled yesterday. I'm gutting it out right now. I'm telling you. That ain't nothing nice.
I don't know how you doing it, but hey, do what you got to do, brother.
Got to take one for the team, man.
I see that.
Hey. Now, the last but not least, the team that everybody's just totally overlooking. King James is gone. King Henry is gone. They done changed coaches. They bought in from the Cowboys running back.
Tony Pollard
to go with TJAY Spears, kind of the same back. I still kind of don't understand that.
Me neither.
Who they gonna throw the ball to? Now last year there was a chance when I saw Levis in the draft last year with possibly my team to take him. I didn't want him in the first round. I took him in the second or third, but I think Will Levis is going to turn out to be a good quarterback. Carlos, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah. You see me? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, well, so what? When we move, Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you. When we look at the Titans, man, everything right now it seems like gloom and doom. Like no one is really giving them any chance. A lot of people have them going 7-10, maybe 6-11. When you look at this team overall, what is your thoughts about the Tennessee Titans?
I mean, I don't think it's gloom and doom. I think they've got some talent on that roster. I mean, the most questionable thing to me, you already stepped on, which is Pollard and Spears. I mean, you literally have two guys exactly the same running backs, exactly the same type of build. Like, there's no differentiation there. There's no lightning and thunder. I don't get it. I think Levis is a decent quarterback. I'm going to be honest. I'm a big Malik Willis fan. I was glad to actually see him get traded. Or not traded, picked up essentially. Well, traded for a 7th-round pick so he can at least play. Yeah. The Packers. Yep. So they're going to be 4th in division. I don't see any way around that, honestly, unless somehow Jacksonville manages to blow it. I really see them being the 4 seed in the division. They haven't done anything to really impress me to step up from where they were last year. And honestly, I'd say they maybe took a step back from last year. I mean, they didn't fix the running back problem. You lost Henry. That's a huge loss. I don't care what team you are. You lose that guy, and you don't replace him with somebody that's going to be at least a sizable running back. I don't know.
This team sort of overachieved a lot. I want to give a shout out to Mike Vrabel. Vrabel was the reason why, in my opinion, this team overachieved.
Great coach.
Great coach, great mentality, and he's one of those rare coaches that the team embodied his spirit. And but at the same time, just like they embodied the spirit, a really good serviceable player, but not a Hall of Famer is Mike Vrabel, right? For that Patriots squad. Same as the Titans squad. No, they can win some decent games, but at the end of the day, they're not going to threaten anybody for a playoff spot. Under his regime. Well, he's gone now, and now they bring in the OC from the Bengals. I think it's Callahan. Yeah. He's the head coach now for the Titans. But when you look at them, just the roster, they didn't change anything. Nothing really got better per se. They got some young guys in there for the future. But everyone's ultimate goal as a grown man in the NFL,
right?
You want to win a Super Bowl. The Titans don't have that goal. They don't. I don't see them nowhere in that goal saying, y'all, we're gonna go for a Super Bowl. These dudes probably say we just want to kind of stay at 500. 500. That'll be a Super Bowl to them, 500 season, because they're boasting a receiving core. Their best player is Hopkins, who's just not the same Hopkins anymore, banged up, you know. And then you got Pollard. We saw Pollard as the main back last year for the Cowboys. That ain't cutting it. You know, it's almost like, where do you go on offense? I like their defense. The defense is going to be fine and keep them in games per usual. But we saw that last year as well. You know, and where's the weapons? Where's the offense? Where's the big threat? Will Levis, you might like him, Dolph. I didn't like none of that draft class, honestly. I didn't like none of that draft class, bro.
Can't be worse than the class where Pickens came in the league.
Yeah. You're right.
That was horrible. That was horrible.
I think they're all done right now. They're all going to different teams.
I don't care what team you like.
Ritter got cut from the Cardinals, man.
Yeah. That was wild.
Jesus. All right, well.
That class sucked.
Yeah, as far as Levis is serviceable, but I would like him probably more as a backup later on his career. But hey, if he proves me wrong, I really hope that can root for him to succeed.
Right.
You know, but
so
I don't know.
When I look at it, they're trying to set him up for success. You mentioned DeAndre Hopkins. They bring in Calvin Ridley. And I like them bringing in Tyler Boyd also. They still have Treylon Burks. But a kid that's kind of been lighting up in preseason form, unheralded wide receiver out of Tulane, Jaquan Jackson. They really like this kid. He's explosive with the ball in his hand. And when I look at their receiving core, man, they have some weapons around him. The coverage not bare. And then TJAY Spears and Tony Pollard. They move on from King Henry. Is it because of the style of offense? It's the new style of offense that they're running, and Pollard and Spears fit that new system better than Henry would. But again, like you said, their defense is not bad. I personally think that the Titans can win 8 or 9 games this year, and if things bounce right, maybe even 10. That's just me.
You gotta look at the 8, and we'll talk about more divisions as they come.
Yeah, and I'm looking at their schedule right now. They open up with the Bears. They got the Bears, the Jets, Green Bay, and Miami. That's a hell of a 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You better win one of them games against Chicago. Yeah. Chicago. After that, there's no gimmies in that one.
Right. Then they got a bye for week 5. Then they come back. They got the Colts, Buffalo, Detroit, New England, the Chargers, Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota. Yeah, there we go.
You know, that's a win. New England, you know, that's a win. You know, from what we talking about, they possibly will split with the Colts. Maybe they'll split this one. They'll get the first one with the Colts. Yeah. Then later on, they got Washington on their schedule. They got Indy again, Jacksonville. We can see them splitting with Jacksonville and Houston. So, yeah, 8 to 9 games. I'm gonna leave at 10 now. I ain't gonna go to 10. I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna stick at 8 to 9.
Where'd you find it, man? Damn. I got them at I think I got them at 5 wins or 6. I forgot.
Oh, I see him. Hey, Titan Nation, that's Carlos. Remember, y'all. When Carlos wrong, y'all come back at him and let him know he had y'all with 5 wins.
Hey, it's still in 7.
Daniel, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for being here. Come on in.
Good to see you.
Eric Wallace, all the way from the West Coast, baby. The 12th man is in the building, baby. Eric, how you doing? Come on in.
Peter says the Colts should be, what's up? Said the Colts should be the number 2 team because of their style of play with their running game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, says so. That's why they'll compete more with Texas than Jacksonville with AR and Taylor. Oh, also she says if Jonathan Taylor needs his back to step up, that's a bad thing for the Colts. It should be all Jonathan Taylor this year.
PJ, he got to get a rest. So when he get a rest, who goes in, PJ?
She said, I'll give them about the rest of all that money he got. He better keep playing. All that crying he was doing. All that crying he was doing with his money. She said, ain't no way the backers should not be having to have a key role in this at all. It should be all for the success of the Colts.
Carlos only one not live stream even Real Fan Sports Live, they ain't even here. They ain't even here. I think that's what he meant to
I
put.
don't know what Darren meant, but only one. Oh.
Hold on.
I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Never mind. Damn, what you saying, man? I don't know what that means. Carlos, only one not live streaming, even Real Fan Sports Live. They ain't even here.
Oh, they been Zach. Zach, he finishing up a little project. He'll be in.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
And, yeah. We family. We hold it down, baby. That's what we do. We hold each other down.
Hit that like,
All right.
guys. Hit that subscribe button to the channel as well. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, like they say, like Carlos said, family, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the Come On In Sports Networks as the NFL turns. I'm Dolph Jackson. He's Jeremy. He's Carlos. And that's PJ, the one and only PJ who said Jonathan Taylor better not ask to come off the field because he getting paid a whole lot of money and he cried for his money, so you better stay on that field.
Whole lot of money, yeah.
All right, family, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome, all sports fans. I'm Dolph Jackson, one of the hosts of the Come On In Sports Network, a brand new sports network catered to sports heads like yourselves. Here on the Come On In Sports Network, we'll be covering the latest topics and current sporting news from around the world, such as baseball, football, basketball, and more. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, and come on in. All right, family, we're back. AFC North is next up on the docket, family. Jeremy, I'm going to let you take this segment over, my friend. Who you want to start with?
Oh, all right. We'll go with the top right. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Steelers. Oh, big news out of Steel Town today. Yes, sir. I'm following your lead, brother.
We got Wilson taking over the starting spot over Fields, which everybody pretty much expected. So I guess not that surprising there. Honestly, though, I would have gone the other way. I would have gone with Fields. I think Russell Wilson's seen his days. I think the Denver experiment blew up. I don't see it getting better in Pittsburgh. I mean, he's got maybe a little bit better team, but I think Fields' athleticism, I think for the opportunity to be able, if you're going to consider signing him for a longer-term contract, because Wilson's probably at the end of his cycle at this point, see what you got with Fields. Let him run with it and see how he goes. I mean, he's a great backup if you're going to have him as a backup, but I feel like he might be the future if that's the case, so they should give him a shot.
When you're a GM, not only is it your job to get player personnel right as well, but you also want to get yourselves right for the media and for your fans as well. What am I saying? It's easier to put Wilson there, and if he fails, bring in the young Justin Fields than vice versa. Because if you bring the young Fields, who is people are wanting to be your future, they say, well, he's the future. Give him a year under Wilson, and he could run the Steelers for the next 10, 15 years if done right. Well, if you put him out there first, and it's a struggle bus the first 4 or 5 games, then you put in Wilson, it's like, oh, bro. The excitement, if Wilson does struggle, which is very likely in my opinion, if he does struggle, now the fan base is itching. Bring in Fields. By that time, it's not that much pressure to win because you already had a downfall with Wilson. That's going on in the GM's mind, the team's mind as well. Now, I think Wilson, honestly, is still the better quarterback than Fields. I know it looks like a struggle, guys, but I mean, I'm going to go off experience. I'm going to go off of Russell Wilson not turning the ball over. Fields could be a turnover machine when asked to do a lot more than he can. Wilson probably will take a lot more sacks, but he's not going to throw a lot of interceptions. He's not going to get that bad turnover, right? As long as you play game manager, which right now Wilson is better at that than Fields is for this particular team. Now, you look at struggling wins, then yes, you can kind of call for Fields to come in by like week 6, week 7, and maybe change his team around. But my problem is everyone thinks that the Steelers have a Super Bowl caliber defense. They do not.
No.
They have a caliber Hall of Famer in Watt. That is about it when you talk about the one big name. As far as the team goes, this defense isn't a New York Jets defense where I think that is a super caliber defense, just minus the offense, right? This one is not they're they're a good defense,
Right.
And can play really good against very bad teams. But if you're asking them to be this super talented team to probably give you another over 500 year, I think, as much as I hate to say it, and I am a huge Mike Tomlin fan, and they know me, this is my first time ever saying this is not going to be a great year for the Steelers. They will be under 500 for the first time in Tomlin's career, and I hate to say that because that's my guy, But what I'm looking at from an offensive standpoint, and the fact that you do not have a Super Bowl caliber defense, they are going to struggle this year and struggle bad.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate as always.
Yes, sir.
I love Mike Tomlin, and every year we doubt Mike Tomlin. And Carlos, my friend, when the season's over with, you will.
I immediately regret this decision.
You will immediately regret that decision.
Hey, I hope so.
Because Tomlin is going to find some kind of way. He's going to squeeze every bit of juice, talent that this team has out. Listen, if he got what he got out of the Steelers with Pickett, as his quarterback, there is no doubt in my mind. With should be a two-time Super Bowl champion winning quarterback, but Pete Carroll wanted to get him a damn MVP instead of getting it the beast mode.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there is no way, and I mean no way, I can see the Steelers having a winning record with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback and having a losing record with Russell Wilson and backed up by Fields. It ain't happening, man. Fields is an upgrade over Rudolph, and of course, Wilson is an upgrade over Kenny Pickett. So I got the Steelers going. Matter of fact, let me look at this skill. I'm about to tell you right now. I'm about to give y'all money. Go ahead, Jeremy.
So what do we think about Najee Harris this year? Do we think we get the Najee Harris from last year? Or do we get the Najee Harris from 2 years ago?
Which one was better?
Like the 1-2 punch of him and Warren.
Which one was better? Najee Harris has the skill set. It's just that O-line for some reason it doesn't work out in his favor. But it feels like every time Warren gets the football,
he goes on.
Happens. Right. I don't know, but it's almost like they don't like having to block for Harris. But Warren comes in, they love blocking in.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I hope Najee gets over 1,000 yards again rushing, and I hope that he gets a lot of touchdowns because they're going to need him if they do what Dolph says they do and go above 500. They're going to need Najee Harris for sure, and of course Warren as well is a big part. But they're going to need Harris because his big body presence.
Right. So I'm about to throw another monkey wrench into this. Special teams can win them at least one, maybe even 2 games this year. So you like, dope. Why you say that? There is a underlining a signing that to me did not make enough news, but it can have a big impact with this team as far as field position. The Steelers added Cordell Patterson.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Cordell Patterson is the third running back, and we know he plays back, receiver. He's kick return. He's one of the most field returners in the league today. So with the addition of Cordell Patterson can change a game in the instance. So that's what I'm saying, man. This team to me, they're more talented than the Pickett teams, man. And one thing that we can count on eventually, the Steelers go play some defense. They go play some defense. The problem has been their offense since Bennett's gone away. I think Russell Wilson comes in. Let's say he didn't have a terrible season in Denver last year. 26 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. But I guess people in Denver would say, yeah, but did you watch the games? Maybe it was Sean Payton play calling. Just saying. But we'll see. Y'all got both Knicks now. We're gonna get to y'all, but I think the Steelers, man. I think the Steelers finishing third in the division. I got them with a 9-8 record. But I ain't got them winning the AFC North. Now they could sneak in with a wild card depending on the rest of the AFC go, because like you say, the AFC is loaded. every team beating up on each other. So maybe they sneak in with that 6 or 7 wild card spot.
I just think this is the year that, I mean, obviously we were talking about it if everyone stays healthy. Last year, I've been on record saying this many times now. I think last year was one of the worst NFL seasons to watch just because of all the injuries to like major quarterbacks. I mean, you would have 4 or 5 games per week. The last 8 or 9 weeks is like backup versus backup. It was just like, oh, it was horrible, man. But if everyone's healthy, that's a big if. If everyone's healthy, right, Pittsburgh will have some trouble. So I'm looking at that like, man, like I'm looking at all these teams and them being healthy, and you see Pittsburgh like, I don't know. Now, mind you, Doctor, this is my first time ever saying that.
Right. I understand. I know.
So that's how I'm going on it. But I want to start off with the Bengals now after that, man. Let's continue the carousel with Cincinnati.
Okay.
And wow, did Coach Taylor put his foot in his mouth, like he said today. He went on the record saying that, yes, he can just about guarantee that Chase is going to play week 1, you know, and then he said he's going to practice every single day for this week. And what did he do? Not practice.
I love that. I love that.
Chase is not playing, but I respect Taylor for saying, you know what? I may have put my foot in my mouth. Sometimes I just got to coach and just coach the guys that are there right now and say the politically correct way, right? Maybe he thought him saying that in the public forum would force Chase to come out. It didn't work. Mind you, Chase has his agents talking to him, saying how to maneuver in this process. So Chase is not budging, man. And will he play week 1 now is really up in the air because we got less than 2 weeks left and he's still not there.
Right.
But when you look at the Bengals, though, let's add in a Jamar Chase and let's add in a healthy Joe Burrow. This team with that defense, I think the defense itself is going to have a great year this year. I like the Bengals defense once again. And I have a strong feeling that the Bengals, if healthy, it's Joe Burrow being healthy and whatnot. I've got a feeling that this Bengals squad is going to make some noise again, and they're going to battle the Ravens for the top seed in the AFC North.
Yeah. Wow. Jeremy say, "Wow."
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. One guy you didn't talk about, who is probably one of my favorite players the Bills ever drafted, who's now on there, which is Zach Moss, who, as you guys remember, last year stepped in and injured Jonathan Taylor territory and kind of really showed where he could take over as a number 1 spot, which he never really got shot in Buffalo. Every time he got the chance to fill in for Motor, he ended up getting hurt, and then they kind of cast him off, ends up in Indy as a backup, gets his time to shine, and now here he is in Cincinnati getting his chance to possibly take over number 1. I don't know. Chase Brown, it could be a split. I'll be curious to see when the season rolls around what that looks like, but I definitely think they've got a solid running game to go along with it too. Not that Joe Mixon wasn't good, but I think now, even if you run with Zach Moss and Chase Brown, I think their running game is going to be stronger than it was last year between the two of them. And honestly, even if not, I think Zach Moss is, given the opportunity, right, not much of a sample set, going to be a pretty solid running back compared to what Joe Mixon was doing. I don't think he's necessarily a 3-down back, but he's going to get you yards on 1st and 2nd. Receiving-wise, you're going to lose a little bit there.
Well, you look at their receiving core: T. Higgins, Chase, and Andre. I ain't gonna chop the kid's last name up. I'm not about to do it. Somebody Losivas.
The white dude with hair. That's all I know about.
When you look at the
good hair, man.
Now, when you look at Joe's options at tight end, they added Mike Gesicki, and they still have Drew Sample, who I like a lot. I think Drew Sample's a very good. So I think they have 2 very good tight ends to go with Higgins and Chase. And like you said, Jeremy, Zach Moss coming over from the coast, and Chase Brown. Can Zach Moss and Chase Brown, can they replace the production of Joe Mixon for the Bengals? But the key to all this is when you got a man under center who is special and who just elevates a team all around him, that's what you got in Joe Burrow. Yep. It's all about health with him. If he can stay healthy, this team should be in at least the AFC divisional round, in my opinion, with a healthy Joe Burrow this season. That's how I see the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, Annie Marie Elizabeth Rose Valowski, the law firm is in the building, baby. How you doing? Come on in. With Russell Wilson on the Steelers team and he stays healthy, Pittsburgh can have a good season. Don't ever go against Mike Tomlin. I'm just saying the man has a proven track record when everybody thought 2 years ago and last year, oh, this is it. This is it. He's going. A lot of people want him to get that first losing season. A lot of people are praying he gets that first losing season. But guess what? Coach Mike ain't letting it happen, baby. Steelers will have another winning season, and he will just continue to add to his resume. And sooner or later, a lot of y'all going to have to realize that this is one of the greatest head coaches in the National Football League. But you only got one Super Bowl. Some coaches don't have any.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying. All right, let's go to the Cleveland Browns. Enigma.
Man, it's all about Deshaun Watson. That's it. Does he want it? Does Deshaun Watson still want it? Does he still want to be a great quarterback? I don't know. I've got to really he's so uber talented, man. And he's been nicked up here and there. But I'm like, when he gets banged up, does he just quit mentally and say, you know what? I got my money. I'm good. I don't care. Everything's guaranteed anyways. I don't know. He's got to prove to himself, to the fans, to his teammates that he really, really, really wants it badly. I don't see that right now, but I'm really hoping all the talent they got on the offensive end, and we know about the defense, when they come, they can come to play. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your quarterback. Can he lead this team? I don't want any more Joe Flacco stories coming in and reviving the team. No, I want the story to be it with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson came in and did his thing, and he's leading this team to a great season or to the playoffs or to a deep run, right? If it's not Deshaun Watson, look, you've already lost the trade with the Texans. They have blown you out already. We're not worried about that now. Now it is a year-by-year basis, and how you nullify that? Win the damn Super Bowl. That's how you got to nullify it. You know what? Let's win the Super Bowl. Will it happen? It's all on Deshaun Watson right now. Talent-wise, they got enough to be relevant and to stay in that pack. And they also have the talent. Their ceiling is 11 to 12 wins, But their floor could be 8 or 7 wins, right?
Yep.
So just because of your quarterback, can he stay healthy, one? And when healthy, can he, in this office now, he's been the assistant for a couple of years. There's no more excuses. Like, we see him now, 1 read, 1.5 read. Now I'm scrambling. I'm doing topsy-turvy stuff and getting myself injured. That's basically what's going on with him these last couple of years in Cleveland. Now, he's had another full offseason with this team to know the playbook, to know everyone's what they can do, what they can't do. There's no more excuses for Deshaun Watson. This is his make or break year. If not, if he can't get it done, Browns are probably looking for the quarterback next year in the draft or off season, because it's already been a waste of money so far. But like any good sports story, you can change the circumstance, you can change the narrative. But it's on Deshaun Watson. The defense is there, the talent is there. Nick Chubb is going to come back after week 4. He's on the PUP list. Whenever he gets healthy, they still have one of the best O-lines in the game. So you can still kind of plug in running backs in there, and they'll be fine. And when Chubb comes back healthy, 100%, that's an upgrade. So they've got the talent, but can your quarterback, your captain, can he lead the ship and not stray away? That's yet to be seen. Hopefully this year it's going to go for them. If not, it might be another what-if kind of season for the Browns.
But they've got the talent every year. They have for the past however many years we've been looking at this roster, and you look at it on paper and you're like, how does this team not run away with it? And I mean, and I'm going to bring him up, Carlos, and know you hate Joe Flacco. I mean, that team is so deep and so talented. You can put Joe Flacco in there, who wasn't even playing, and go out there and win, 4 games, 5 games in a row to sneak into the playoffs? I mean, that's insane. That doesn't happen in a normal football world, right? But that's because you've got a team with so much ability to succeed. And like you said, Deshaun Watson, he could be one of the biggest busts out there from a talent perspective. He has all the tools to be an insanely good quarterback, and he just can never seem to get it put together. And you've got a team that can run, and like you said, even with the O-line, you take out Nick Chubb, you put in Jerome Ford, right? Very different running backs when you look at it, but still produced great numbers overall. Your receivers are great, and then you've got probably one of my favorite tight ends in the league. You got Njoku. I mean, that guy's he's a freak.
Yeah.
So this team has all the talent to win, and you got Myles Garrett on defense. What else do you need right there, right? You got a game record. He just needs to stay healthy, and he needs to start trusting his arm more than his legs. I mean, that's his biggest problem. I think he gets scared, and he just starts running, and he just tries to take off, and he just needs to sit back there, trust his receivers to get open, trust his tight end, trust his running backs to do their jobs, and just make the plays.
No, I agree with you. My thing with the Browns is their defense, Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Yeah.
At home, they are beastly, right? You cannot do anything against them when they play at home. But for some reason, they get on the road, and we saw that not only in the regular season, but we saw it in the playoff game last year against the Texans, right? And you go on that road, they become a shell of themselves. I don't know what happened with them. It just looks like pathetic, pretty much, from a defense standpoint. They have got to change that mentality if they want to go further as well. So I think, one, Deshaun Watson, but two, when you play on the road, bring that same energy from your home to the road, and you can win some more games. But it's going to be tough, right? And you wonder if one of those casualties of the AFC might belong to the Browns, right? The AFC comes so deep. One of these teams is going to bite that bullet this year and go back down to 6-7 wins. It's going to So,
from a talent perspective, they should be able to pull out more than that. Overall, no matter who you put back there, but it's going to be somebody. It's just this is one of those teams every year I look at and I think this could be their year. And every year I'm wrong. But I've been saying that the past 5 years. I feel like with this team.
I still got them going 9-8. I actually have them. Spoiler alert! My next stream with TJAY next Tuesday. I got them at the 7th seed, and I got them at 7th seed in the AFC. They squeaked it out last week. Some things happened, got in their favor, and they're in there. So I've got that, but I mean that's about it, though. I mean that's what I can really see from them in a reality standpoint. So, but let's go to the Ravens now. Best team in the AFC? ? They add Derrick Henry. They lost Odell Beckham, but he wasn't really whatever. Yeah. But you had a reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson. And let's not forget about that stingy-ass defense. Once again, this team should be a top-tier team. 11-plus wins, for sure, in my opinion, barring injuries. But they got some, who are the running backs? I know that they lost Gus Edwards and they lost Dobbins, both who went to Harbaugh's brother.
Which was really weird, by the way.
But that's a Harbaugh thing. That's all it was.
They got Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. He's out right now. And they got Rasheen Ali.
Okay.
Those would be the backups. My thing is
so
their receiving core.
So as long as you have Henry and he's healthy, I mean, what I told y'all this a while ago. I think I told you guys this. I might have been TJ, whatever. One day it was somewhere like about a month after free agency ended, and I kid you not, I went to sleep, had me a good night's sleep, and then towards the end of me dreaming, I saw a standstill picture of Lamar Jackson handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. And I woke up smiling. I was like, damn, did I just really forget about Lamar Jackson handing off to Derrick Henry? And they're wearing their all black jerseys. It looked ferocious. It looked scary. And it looked like, if you're a Ravens fan, if done right, that could be your Super Bowl ticket. right? Who knows? But I like this Ravens team from top to bottom yet again. I like this team because of their ability to run the football, their ability until they get to the Chiefs game and then forget how to run for some reason. But outside of that, their ability to run the ball and their defense. I mean, their team, unlike the Browns, they can bring their defense anywhere.
Yep.
That's what I like about them. No matter what rain, sleet, snow, turf, whatever. I mean, they bring their hard hats and they go out there and play every single time. I like the Ravens to have yet another deep playoff run. I'm not going to say Jackson as MVP because I think he won by default last year. But I'm going to say a really good year once again. I've got the Ravens at 12 wins.
I don't like the receiving core. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'll go after you.
No, I was going to say, I think what I like most about the Ravens this year is that they brought in Henry. I think that was the big move that could put them over the top. I mean, they've always been an incredibly consistent team with Lamar Jackson back there. Like you said, their defense is nasty, always is. And I think you had Dobbins, you had Gus Edwards. I like Dobbins when he was healthy, which that's not possible for him lately. Hopefully it is this year, But you bring in Derrick Henry on that team now, that guy is going to put up probably he's going to have another 1,000-yard season, probably 11, 12 touchdowns, I think, easily. I think its floor is probably 10. I mean, I don't see how this team doesn't potentially run away with it. And look, I love the Bills, but I got to be realist too. I think this is the team that could definitely compete for a shot at the Super Bowl this year out of the AFC for sure.
And here's my thing, Dolph. When you add in Derrick Henry, you kind of go back to the basics. See, and Lamar Jackson has been winning MVPs while not being his best version, in my opinion. I think Lamar Jackson and the team was so built on trying to get Lamar Jackson to be this quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Throw for 4,000 yards, right? Stay in the pocket and throw for 35 touchdowns, right? And less running and less mobility. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's now lately showing some tweaks of injury-ish kind of things, but for the most part, when they get to the basics and they run that football and become dominant, and then Lamar Jackson gives them a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and short, and he can pass or run the football, that is the scariest team in the AFC from that standpoint. I think going back to the basics, you just run it down your throats. You save Lamar Jackson for the year, and you want the best Lamar Jackson version you can get in the playoffs.
Right, and not to be overlooked is the return of his security blanket, Mark Andrews, the continued improvement of Zay Flowers. They bring Nelson Aguilar and Rashad Bateman, who I think just hasn't lived up to being drafted number 1. But with Mark Andrews back, King Henry, the laser Lamar Jackson, and arguably the best defense in the National Football League, they should be right back in the divisional round, maybe even the AFC Championship. But like you said, will they remember that they got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry this time if they face the Chiefs?
Yo, shout out to the Dixon Way with a raid right now. The Dixon Way, he's an awesome streamer representing all the Georgia teams: Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, Georgia Bulldogs, Atlanta Hawks.
My God,
yeah, man, got a raid coming in right now with the Dixon Way. He's a Falcons guy, amongst a couple of Saints right now. It's all good though. Who that nation? What it is, baby. He says hashtag we that.
Well, I tell you, boy, y'all just don't ever get enough, man. Y'all want everything. Want our personnel, want our management personnel, want the naming rights, naming rights we got, get your own.
Yeah, get your own stuff, man.
But what's up, fam? Thank you for being here, man. We appreciate you as always, man.
That's right. That was our Magic Man. We got Breeze 1500 Atlanta Rocks.
Breeze.
Dr. Dixon, we got Diva, CC, Sexy Red Peach. I like that name, by the way. I like that. Anyway,
Sexy Red Peach. All right.
Let me stop. I'm thirsty right now. We got Emitty Griggs, the Dixon showing us to respect the Falcons.
Man, stop it.
Said respect the Falcons.
This whole podcast might get on cool to this way.
As the
Respect.
NFL turns.
Yeah, as the NFL turn, man. But listen, man, I love y'all, man. Man, listen, thank y'all for being here, baby. Let's have some fun. That black and red is in the building, baby. They represent, man, the big way, man. I love it, man. I love it, man. All right, man. Go ahead, man. Y'all can continue, man. I'm just gonna follow along. My mouth hurts right now.
Ravens should. I'm not. Look, I've got Ravens and Bengals, in my opinion, fighting neck and neck for the division title, and it's gonna be one hell of a show for the entire AFC, man. So I'm excited for that. So let's get it. Let's get it,
man. Oh yes, the Ravens, as long as they stay healthy and united behind Lamar Jackson, they can surprise other teams. To me, it ain't gonna be no surprise. To me, for the Ravens, it's Super Bowl to bust. It's Super Bowl.
Yeah. There's only a few teams that can boast about that, right? Chiefs, Niners, Ravens. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Lions.
All right.
Cowboys.
Bills.
Eagles.
Yeah, big Bills, maybe. Yeah, Bills, but
Eagles for sure on that.
Eagles. Yeah. Super Bowl bust, man. I mean, Cowboys did the same. They had that same mentality every year, no matter how bad or good they are.
Right.
So I get it. Not a lot of teams can really, really bolster up and say, "Yo, Super Bowl bust for real." Like that's right. Ravens, Chiefs, Niners. Those are your three teams that every year so far, this little mini dynasty they've had, they're the three teams that's like really Super Bowl bust, like for real.
Mike Brown, how you doing? Come on in. Thank you for being here, Mike. So let me ask you this, guys. How big of a loss how big a loss would it be to the Ravens in losing Patrick Queen?
Don't get it twisted. It's still a loss. It's still a huge loss when it comes down to a player standpoint. But when you look at a team standpoint, not necessarily they can just plug and get the same production as Queen. You're not going to do that. But other guys can up their ability as well. That's surrounding the new middle linebacker for their teams. I mean, Queen is awesome, and it's tough to see him go from the Ravens to the Steelers. Where's the loyalty at? Like, don't go to the AFC North, but it is what it is. But as far as a defensive scheme, because honestly, schemes make players more than players make schemes.
Yep.
In my opinion. So if the scheme is what it is for the Ravens, which it has been over the last Ravens dynasty, the last 20 years, they've been a really good defense, from the Ray Lewis days to now. I mean, I'm not going to say you just plug and play this all roses and peaches and creams. No, that's not about to happen. And I'm still thinking of, Diva CC Sexy Red Peach when I said roses and peaches and creams. I don't know why. But anyways, what I'm saying is like it's not going to be easy, but you can still as a team, be over that loss of Patrick Queen style player. So I think it'll be fine.
Gotcha. Nine is saying, and for those who don't know, Nine is a host of As the NFL Turns. He's hanging out in the chat with the family tonight. Nine says, do the Ravens have the answer for the Chiefs? Jeremy, I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, I say yes. I say the Derrick Henry additions will put some over the top this year. I think that has been by far the Ravens' weakest part of their game because they haven't had good consistency in that. And I think you bring a guy like Derrick Henry in, who's a proven solid runner. He's a big boy to bring down, and when he gets moving, I mean, he reminds me of Jerome Bettis, but in way better shape. Like, you're not stopping that guy easy. He's going to run through you, and he's going to run over you.
The answer is yes. But here's my thing. The answer was yes last year, too. And we got to the situation. What did they do? They went back and said, we want to make Lamar Jackson look like this top-tier quarterback. No. Win games. Run the damn football. They had the least carries of their entire regime in that one game, in the most important game of the year to get to the Super Bowl. They ran about, 6 times? Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you had the formula last year. Also, Derrick Henry comes in. Here's my thing. That was the Pat Mahomes effect. You get ball first. You go 3 and out. Pat Mahomes get the ball, score the touchdown. Now you're trembling. Now you're scared. Oh, now we got to throw the football 1,000 times now to keep up with the Chiefs. No, you run that damn ball. So my mentality is you can have any running back in the league. You can have Derrick Henry. If you go back and play the Chiefs again, right, in the whatever it is in the playoffs, and you go 3-and-out again, and they score a touchdown, is the Derrick Henry pickup, is that thrown out the window all of a sudden because now you're so worried about what Pat Mahomes could do on the other side? That's the thing. Stick to what you got. Stick to your guns. You had the answer last year. You didn't use it. Got the answer this year. Use it.
I'm ready to see that RPO with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Then you pull it out Derrick Henry belly and you hit Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews.
You're probably run up with Jackson. Oh my goodness. I mean, just Jesus.
Nine says, does having a better run game actually help Lamar Jackson, or do they need another big name receiver?
It helps Lamar. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
I think Rashad Bateman. Yeah, I think Rashad Bateman's a good receiver. I think he just hasn't had a chance to really try and shine into basically number 2 spot. So I'll be kind of curious to see how he performs this year. But
I know Zay Flowers was coming into his own last year. He was kind of becoming that alpha dog at wide receiver. So, like you said, like, he has weapons. They have, but like there's no real big name at the receiving core that stands out. That okay, this is somebody that every game, hey, we know we got to take him away, But the Ravens are loaded by far. Again, it comes down to the Ravens, and I think the Bengals for the AFC North and who prevails. And my thing is, which one of those teams can actually go head to head with the Chiefs and don't crumble like
that's easy.
Some old cookies.
Bengals.
That's Joe. Listen, Joe is just different. Y'all can like him, dislike him. Joe is just different.
The one team the Chiefs do not want to see in an AFC Championship game is the Bengals. They don't want to see that.
Yeah, because there ain't no feel. He going for
it. They beat them already. They're 1-1, but that's the only guy outside of Tom Brady to beat Pat Mahomes is Joe Breezy.
Joe Breezy.
Breezy, baby. Go Burrow.
All right, now we go to the division that 9 is so patiently waiting for. Now, you told me something before the show, but I'm going to let him share that with us in the chat. So let's go and start talking about the AFC West. Let's get this out the way right now. This is no surprise. Everybody get ready. The winner of the AFC West is none other than
Kansas Chiefs.
The Denver Broncos. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing.
I mean, at least you didn't say the Raiders.
And now you hear Jerry. Jerry said, not the Raiders. Hey, all right. So everybody playing for second in a possible wild card. Is it the Raiders, Broncos, or Chargers? Well, let's start with the guys in blue. They got a Harbaugh. Everybody's excited with Jim Harbaugh coming back to NFL to the Chargers. He gets arguably one of the top, most talented young quarterbacks in the National Football League, and Justin Herbert. Can the Chargers finally deliver on the talent that they have had the last couple of years? And a lot of their problems had to do with the inconsistency and just bad coaching that they had. So I'm gonna start with you, Jerry, because Jeremy's shaking his head.
No, absolutely not. I mean, look, I love J.K. Dobbins, like I already said. Gus Edwards, they're average. Neither of those guys is great. You lost Keenan Allen. You lost Mike Williams. Now, granted, Mike Williams hurt most of the time, but still a complete game changer. That team is not any better than they were last year. I would argue they're probably worse at this point.
Okay.
I mean, when you look at the roster changes they've made, I don't see this team getting better. I feel bad for Herbert. I think he's incredibly talented. They just have not really surrounded him with the weapons he probably needed. And honestly, his best probably years were when he had Allen and Eckler and Williams healthy. And They really never got the job done then. I don't see how this team's gotten better since. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this because I think I'm losing it apparently. But If I have to pick team right now, looking at these for second place, I actually have to say the Broncos. And yet it doesn't sound crazy to me.
No, right. So Jeremy got the Broncos finishing second in the
I immediately regret this decision. I immediately regret this decision.
I had to pick that twice, cuz you go regret that decision. With Bo Nix, he gonna go through Ricky. Listen, I know everybody in Denver. Everybody in Denver, y'all think y'all gonna have a story like Houston had last year with CJ Stroud, just like they think that in Chicago. They don't come along like that every year, a back-to-back year. That was special what we saw last year. I don't think the Broncos are more. I think the Raiders finished second in the AFC West. With Gardner Minshew, I don't care what y'all say. I am supremely confident in myself. So when we look at the Raiders, Gardner Minshew beat out Aiden O'Connell for the starting job. I believe the Raiders have a good defense. We know they have arguably one of the best wide receivers. Not arguably, he's one of the best wide receivers in all of football. But the thing is, can they just get consistent, don't lose the game quarterback play for Gardner Minshew? And now whoever would like to go.
If you're looking at Max Crosby, right, and Max Crosby is not the Raiders defense. The Raiders defense. Max Crosby is off the charts great at everything. That's it when it comes down to the Raiders. That's going to be the issue. Good defense. I don't know when you see this good defense at that's going to be their Achilles heel yet again. Their offense is not stellar, so they're not going to put up a ton of points. Albeit Gardner Minshew is a guy that comes in any offense and does it and does well. But when it comes down to the Raiders, he said you crazy. Max Crosby is that dude. He is that dude. He is not Max Raiders or Max Las Vegas Raiders. No, like he is nice, but the defense overall, they got to show me something. You gotta show me something, baby. I'm sorry.
Hold on, baby. Listen, not with you, baby. It's just wood, baby. Silver and black, baby. Silver and black. We finished this. They finished in second, baby.
I got a feeling those three.
Hey,
Broncos,
so
Raiders.
You said I got it. You just said the only person they got is Max Crosby. Listen, we forget about the big addition up front with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins. Christian Wilkins comes over. That was a hell of a get by the Raiders. Now they cornerback. I mean, who's going to step up at corner? They got Jack Jones as the starter and Jacorian Bennett as the right cornerback. Listen, the big name players, the well-known players today, many of them at one time were not known. So this season, this unknown defense other than Crosby and Wilkinson for the Raiders, these players have a chance to go out and make a name for themselves. And by the end of the season, we'll all be sitting here saying, Adam Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, Luke Madison, never heard of him, but now who is Luke Madison?
I know Luke Madison. I'm right over there.
Yeah, Luke Madison. Okay, so I'm just saying they got some talent there. It's just, hey, everything is about an opportunity.
Look, I think if you put the Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos, in my opinion, they're all kind of the same right now.
Ooh, no.
I can't disagree with that either, though.
I got the Chargers going second in division. I got them at 8-9, I think. I got the Raiders and Broncos both fighting for 7 wins.
You think the Chargers so out those three teams, who has the better roster, top to bottom?
Better roster.
Because I don't think it's the Chargers.
I don't think it's Chargers either.
I'll say Broncos.
Yeah.
Broncos were just, they for some reason it didn't go right last year with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, but the year before that, their defense was top notch. I don't know what happened last year, but roster standpoint and what we're seeing early from Bo Nix, although
preseason.
I'm not a big believer in Bo, but everything I've heard from training camp to preseason to team versus team drills, He's done excellent, and I haven't heard a single negative thing about Bo Nix. I'm very surprised about that, but there could be a Sean Payton's ego saying that I draft this kid, so I can't say nothing negative right now because I know that kid.
But you got to look at the run game too. You got Williams and McLaughlin, and I think those two guys are going to do a good job keeping pressure off Nix this year and allow him to get some opportunity to make some throws. I mean, granted, they lost Jerry Jeudy, but they still got Cortland Sutton, who I think is still a solid receiver. So I think it's going to be a lot different this year. I mean, I'm not saying Nix is the savior of Denver by any means, but I think he's going to have a much better opportunity this year to be in a place to succeed with that team based on the fact that they're going to have a solid running game this year. They got two really good running backs that they can.
I'm a big believer in Denver right now. I am not for playoffs, but as far as a successful season,
yeah.
I think they'll get to 7 wins. A lot of people have them at 4 or 5 wins. I think they'll get 7. 7 wins.
I don't have them. Yeah, I don't have them that low. And looking at their receiving core, Cortland Sutton, they bring over a veteran receiver from the Rams, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims. Don't like they tight end and Adam Troutman. And
when you look at Sean Payton and you had a Drew Brees, right? Think about Drew Brees from his money years, 06 to let's say 17. Where was that? I mean, outside of Marcus Colston, where was that top tier receiver? Sean Payton made a living of not going out and getting big name receivers, right? Because he said my system is going to make these guys better than what they probably are. I think Colston, I know he's a Hall of Famer. I cannot wait for that day later on, 20 years from now.
Marcus Colston.
I love Marcus Colston. It's a travesty that man never made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. I mean, come on. But what I'm saying is that was Drew Brees' pretty much best weapon for years, and he went under the radar because of the system. However, so I think Sean Payton goes by the same philosophy. He's been doing it for 20 plus years. We don't need to get big name receivers with our system, because it's quick. It's very quick. The reason why him and Russell conflicted because of Russell's style of play. He's more of a creating 1 read, 2 reads. I'm going in circles now. Sean don't like that. Sean wants you 1 read, 2 read, get it out.
Man, that put Sean was one of the greatest ever to do it, man. Everybody ain't Drew Brees. We saw what did he look like when he didn't have Drew Brees? Offense sucked.
When you talk about Sean Payton and his offensive mentality, he's stuck in that realm that I don't need any big name receivers. If I can get Bo Nix to throw the ball out in less than 3 seconds every time, we should be okay. That's his thought process.
Well, his thought process is messed up. I wanted to say something else, but I ain't gonna say it. But there ain't no way in hell that first of all, Sean Payton, like these people calling him a quarterback whisperer. Name me one damn quarterback that Sean Payton ever developed. They want to say Tony Romo. Okay, y'all want to say Tony Romo. So those who like to reach, I'll give you Tony Romo. Okay, then who? Because he damn sure ain't create no Drew Brees.
Drew had him. They were just a perfect combination.
Yeah, and every quarterback that they drafted straight up sucked.
Yeah,
straight up sucked. It's just that simple.
What was that kid from Colorado State, man?
Third
round pick, man. He had that bum, man.
His name. Listen, you're a great human being, but as a quarterback for the Saints, you were straight up DOLPH to juice, trash. Garbage.
I thought about that. I said that kid came to it, boy.
They were putting a lot of praise on his name too. He gonna be the heir apparent to Drew Brees. What? Yeah?
I tell you what though, Sean Payton almost had Pat Mahomes, so I give him that credit.
Because he need to shut up.
He saw, he just shut up.
Every workout. Oh man, it's the greatest workout I ever seen, man. Greatest workout. Kept talking about the man. And then look what happened. Boy, how these franchises' futures could be changed.
I'll tell you, boy, who that nation will fight.
You think y'all like us now? With one, just imagine we had 3 or 4 of them things. I would be downright annoying. But anyway, man, we go. Let me see. Oh, and shout out to my sister Pammy Whammy and say, yeah, don't forget they passed on Lamar Jackson for Marcus, always often injured, underachieving Davenport. I still don't believe it. Everybody that night, the Saints done traded back in. It's about to happen. They about to get Lamar Jackson. The New Orleans Saints select from the University of Texas, San Antonio, Marcus Davenport. And my phone blew up with people just laughing at me. I had no idea who the hell Marcus Davenport was.
If he was never injured, he might have been he's a top 10 player without the injuries. Man, when he's healthy, he's a beast. So I see why we got him, but the dude just can't stay healthy. Minnesota found out last year too. Damn, you got him right.
Man, that man had how many sacks that man had his last year in New Orleans?
I don't even know, man.
That man had a half a sack.
I say it wasn't many.
Man, let's keep going, man. I'm about to get upset. Let's keep going, man. We got Dixon Way. They still in here. They laughing and stuff, but y'all can't laugh because all I would say 28-3. Every time y'all talk shit, 28-3. That's all I would say. I'll put that shit in the chat. Y'all say something. 28-3. Biggest collapse in the history of the Super Bowl. 28-3. Boy, they were talking mad shit too. Oh, we got one. We got it. It's over.
I really thought we were getting Lamar Jackson, though. I thought we were.
Yeah, man, everybody.
Let's go. Let's this shit.
Man, you can see all the air just go out all Saints fans like.
I was like, what? Come on, man. Y'all know Drew on the decline, right?
Nah.
We can beat Lamar Jackson.
Now, I'm going to say this on Sean's defense. I have it from a good source that on that night, Sean wanted Lamar Jackson. But Mickey Loomis and the other brain trust decided that they wanted Marcus Davenport. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave that. Let's leave it like that. Well, that pretty much ends our AFC preview for the night. Simply put.
We got one more.
What we got? The Broncos?
The AFC East? How you going to forget about Jerry's squad?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my bad.
He's out of here. Oh,
wow.
The Saints got y'all.
She got me on this discombobulated talking about that, man. Yeah, Jared, this is all you. I'm going to sit back and listen. This is all you, baby. AFC East.
I was wondering. I was like, man, the first 7 minutes that I missed, did y'all run through it already? I was like, damn, you guys going quick tonight.
Bill's just off his pages. Thank y'all. Bye.
All right, so where do we start? Let's start with the Bills. Got to start with the Bills.
Man,
Bills Mafia.
Let's go.
Well, hold on. With the departure of Stephon Diggs, how does that make Josh Allen a better quarterback?
And Gabe.
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it eliminates the drama piece. That is one of those questions he's had to answer way too many times in the past couple of years. And look, I love Diggs' talent. I do. The guy is incredibly talented, phenomenal player. I was thrilled when he came to Buffalo. I'm not really sad to see him go. I'm not sad to see him go for a couple of reasons. One, the drama piece. It's got to stop. It's just constant. We talked about that with Houston. Like, it's a lot for Allen to have to deal with. Sean McDermott, the team. Every year it seems to happen at the end of the season. We go through this whole rigmarole with Diggs, and it's just ridiculous. The other thing is, honestly, even though he had a great season, he really started to drop off in the second half of the season. And a lot of that was because Shakir started stepping up and getting more looks. And he was becoming more reliant on Kincaid, which I love that kid. I think he's going to be absolute dynamite this year.
Had a draft crush, man. I wanted that kid.
I'm a huge fan of his upside potential. I think this year he very well could be number 2, number 3 in receiving for tight ends this year, I think. No problem. So with Diggs gone, I don't necessarily think it hurts as much. Diggs and Davis both gone, that hurts more, I think. I mean, I like Keon Coleman. I think he was great at Florida State. I think he's a good addition. I like Shakir. Samuel, I'm not sure how I feel about that. A lot more people in the Bills Mafia world like him more than I probably do, and that's not a knock against him. I'm just not as confident yet. I'm not sure how he's going to fit as well into all of this. So running back-wise, I love James Cook. He's still he's going to be another 1,000-yard rusher. And honestly, I think from a backup standpoint, I think Davis is going to be great. I love watching that kid. He is every bit as good as he was at Kentucky, and to see him still play against competition like he is now, that kid can play. I mean, he is quick. He is strong. He runs with anger. And I love the fact that we actually kept Frank Gore Jr., even if he is on the practice squad, just because his dad. I mean, you got those kind of genetics, man. Like, that kid's going to be a beast. And Josh Allen.
Hey, I like y'all addition of Mac Hollins too. I think that's a sneaky good addition too. And when you go double tight end, I mean, you got
Kincaid.
Yeah, Dawson Knox and Kincaid. So man, Josh Allen still has a lot of weapons. Now Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I see he made the squad also. So you have veterans in the receiving corps along with young Keon Coleman, who you guys are high on. Defensive wise, what is the outlook on defense, man? Of course, Matt Mitty he's on now injury reserve. Is he on short-term injury reserve, or is he done for this season?
Nah, Milano, they're saying maybe December if we're lucky.
Okay.
But I mean, at that point, you're really looking at most of the season, if not the whole season at this point. I mean, lost Poyer and Hyde, right? They were great mainstays, but they're also aging out. You know, they're getting definitely to the back ends of their careers. They're slowing down. I'm glad to see Elam get a shot to play. I think he was great in Florida. I loved watching that kid in Florida. He's got a ton of talent. He's lengthy. He's quick. He's very athletic. And I think he's going to really shine this year when he's getting an opportunity to play more on the field. And then we got Rousseau. I mean, that guy is he's a beast of a man. I think he will help keep that defense in check. Milano hurts, though. That was a big loss for us, and that could come back to bite us because that's a huge hit to take on that team because he's honestly like the backbone of that defense between him and Rousseau. So taking half of that out of the equation is going to hurt a lot, but it'll be a good – Josh Allen, anytime you got that man on a roster, he will keep you in a game.
So, Jeremy, let me ask you about a kid that I watched his entire college career and looks to now be starting for you guys from Tulane, Dorian Williams. What's your thoughts about Dorian?
I like Dorian Williams. I love the fact he came from Tulane. I feel like that's a sneaky good college program. No one ever really pays that much attention. They always fly under the radar, and they always do well. I think he'll be good. I think having a shot to really like try to shine. I think he's going to be a little bit of a struggle in that team for a bit. Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody takes time to ramp up in that defense for some reason, but there's a lot of pressure this year. I really believe this year is like make or break for Sean McDermott. I thought that last year, and I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if they let him go. I think this year is going to be pretty much the breaking point. Like, we got to get over that hump. We can't just keep making the playoffs and not going anywhere with it. It's just time and time again. I mean, my girlfriend and I, we were at the KC game, and that was heartbreaking. And I can't stand Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's just sad. It's just sad. But I do love Josh Allen. I love watching that kid play. It's funny to think when we're talking about draft picks about how there were a lot of Bills fans that were like, we're going to draft Josh Rosen. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, we drafted Josh Allen. I don't think there were a lot of people happy at the time. But if we all go back and look at that, and maybe this is a good show sometime where we go back and look at some of these old draft classes of some of these quarterbacks and see how it shook out.
Yeah, let's do that. That could be a show.
Yeah.
Allen, we're going to see his best quarterback performance this year.
Yeah. So
from a pure quarterback, touchdowns, interception ratio, probably best of his career. I feel like the pressure of trying to eye one receiver kind of really hurt Allen a few times in his career, more than a few times. I think he'll have that monkey off his back. He'll be less stressful, and he can just make plays happen and just get open. And it wasn't a coincidence. To start the year off, they were not doing well, but the less looks and touches Diggs got towards the end, the better they became. And that's when that regular season win streak got up very high, which got them the AFC East championship at the end. So I feel like you'll get a lot more of that now because that monkey's off your back of trying to please Stephon Diggs, who isn't Jerry Rice. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel like
you brought in Joe Brady halfway through. You brought him in for the OC. So
there you go. So I like that aspect. I like that Allen's gonna have a good year. But I want to talk about the New York Jets now. Last year, my gut feeling told me, even with Aaron Rodgers healthy, they're going 9-8. I was like 9-8, 10-7. 10-7. I think I had it 10-7. I said 10-7. Something about this year, the energy is up now. I got these guys getting 12 wins. I see the schedule. It is not that crazy for the Jets. Obviously, starting off against the 49ers is not an easy task. That's probably an L. But outside of that, man, the Jets with that defense, if Aaron Rodgers can just not be Zach Wilson, the team's going to win a lot of games. The Jets have a Super Bowl caliber defense yet again. They're great on all facets of that defense. You add in Garrett Wilson, who's going to be great with Aaron Rodgers there. Rodgers just doesn't have to suck. Just don't suck. This team is going to, I'm not going to say easily win 12 games, but they can easily make the playoffs this year. So I like the feeling of these guys making the playoffs. We'll see how it goes, man. But your thoughts on the Jets, Jim?
Yeah, I love the Jets.
Are they the biggest competition to the Bills?
Yeah. If the Bills don't end up winning the division, and everyone's going to probably say, well, the Dolphins got a good shot. I see a couple of comments in here. But I'll tell you right now, it's the Jets if it's not the Bills. You didn't even mention Breece Hall. That kid is just unbelievably talented. I felt sad for him at the end of last year because 994 yards. They tried to give him that ball 100 times to get him to 1,000 yards that last game. And for him to come up short, he's going to have that chip on his shoulder. And while it doesn't matter per se, he says, you want that 1,000 yards. Right. So come up short by 6. Yeah. He's going to be out on a vengeance tour. As a receiving back, he's just as good. He's fast. He's quick. He's strong. All things you want in a good running back. He can play 3 downs. And then you brought in Mike Williams. Let's assume Mike Williams stays healthy. That team can be very dangerous. And that defense is just nasty. They are solid all around. So if the Bills don't pull it out, I could absolutely see the Jets coming out of the division winning it.
So October the 14th, Bills, Jets, Monday Night Football. The Jets should be at least 4-1. Because after the 49ers, Titans win, Patriots win, Broncos win, and the Vikings win. It's Sam Darnold.
It's be easy for them, man. Like they
I'm just saying, man. I know everybody like don't hate Sam Darnold. I'm just saying, man. It's Sam Darnold, man.
It's the Sam Darnold revenge tour that game.
But listen, they're good. They're talented enough to go and beat the 49ers, and hell, actually coming in that game 5-0.
It's not a crazy thought, but Aaron Rodgers has to get out of the first 5 minutes of the game this year, hopefully, for him.
The first minute?
First
4 plays.
Man, that was horrible, man.
That was sad.
I'm not a Jets fan, but I felt for that fan base.
I felt bad.
You could feel it just deflate.
Yeah, it just went like, and then they tried the Zach Wilson back out there. Everybody knew it was over with.
Can you imagine Zach Wilson? He's like, I get to learn under Rodgers for a couple of years and then take over this again. No, we need you in for the rest of the season, bro. Right now.
Right now.
First game of the year.
He just went in there and threw a clunker after clunker. He had his Mike Bright game, broken clock right twice a day. So he had about 2 games that he was really good, but I just felt for the Jets, fan. I just felt for that fan base. They deserve better, man. They're so faithful, man. They deserve better, man. Man, shout out to Jet Nation, man. Hopefully Rodgers can stay healthy, man.
I hope so.
If he does, listen. One thing is not a over exaggeration. They have a championship defense with the Jets.
Yeah, they do.
They got a hell of a running back. They got one of the top young wide receivers in the league. Can that offensive line keep Aaron Rodgers upright? Can he stay healthy? If he does, this is a scary team. And they got the quarterback that can go head to head with Superman, with Patrick Mahomes. So I'm just saying, man, you got to look out for them Jets. Now, Jeremy, let's go to the team that everybody's been talking about in the chat. Shout out to my son-in-law because he's a huge Dolphin fan. Those Miami Dolphins. Oh, we just totally disrespecting the Dolphins right now, overlooking the Dolphins. One of the highest scoring teams in the National Football League, one of the best offensive-minded coaches at the helm. Why are we underestimating the Miami Dolphins? What is it?
Nah, ain't no underestimating. We right about them. We've always been right about the Dolphins, and I will always be right about the Dolphins right now. Everyone was so infatuated with the 70 they put on Denver, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worried about the 70. I was worried about the 56 that got put on them by the Ravens. Week 17, a chance to have the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. That's the game we want the Dolphins to show up and show out. No, got murdered. 56-17, right? That's the Dolphins I know, the team that can't beat a winning team. And the only team they beat that had a winning record was the Cowboys, and they can't beat teams that win, you know? So something had to give with that one. Something had to give, right? This Dolphins team, what my man Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. The Dolphins are going to beat up on every small team that can't really outscore them. But when they play competition, when they play in cold weather, when they play against some big boys who are physical and like to hit and tackle, they come up short. We saw that. So, yeah, when you beat Denver 70 to whatever it was in week 5 where it's all sunny in Miami and everything's all lovely and pretty and beautiful, right? And then when you get into big boy season, December, January, right? They come up a little bit short. You know how they got a big slanger. You go outside, it's 2 degrees and it's shrink. Woo-woo-woo. It's shrinking in cold water, cold weather.
They wished it was colder, Carlos. That was the thing. They wanted it to be colder.
They wanted it to be colder. And I'm sitting there watching Hard Knocks. It's so fun. I'm watching Hard Knocks. They're in season. And they're saying, like, hey, let's prove to these guys that we can beat these guys in this weather and these teams. And watching it, I feel bad for the coach because he's a little skinny little dude that's talking to all these grown men and trying to motivate them, and it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Yes, his offense, he's damn good at offense. I get that. It ain't happening. It ain't. The Dolphins team is the same as they were last year. I don't have no trust in him getting over that hump to win a playoff game on the road. They better win every road game, and they better split the home games to get at least one playoff game at home.
Well, Thursday night football, first Thursday night game, they're going to see Josh Allen and the Bills head to head. So we're going to get an early one top matchup on Thursday night football, which, by the way, just be stinkers. So finally we're getting some competition early in the season. It will be the Dolphins taking on the Bills. I hear you. I heard you. I heard Jeremy. Dolphins gonna win the AFC East. The Dolphins gonna win the AFC East.
I love you, but man,
I know it, my brother. I love you too, but I'm telling you,
on this one, you're on your own.
I know. I'm the lone wolf. I'm the lone wolf right now. But I'm telling you right now.
All that.
The Dolphins are going to win the AFC East, and you saying one game, they're going to have 2 playoff games at home. That's right. I'm going with the Dolphin Nation. I got your back, baby. I'm not going to let Carlos and Jeremy sit up here and just hate on you, but they're all right.
Hold on, dog.
They're all right. You do have to win against a goddamn.
Who win the AFC East again? Who win that?
The Miami Dolphins.
I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah, about that.
I'm going with the Dolphins, man. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care.
We're coming back to this episode at the end of the season now.
Before we leave, though, we can't forget about the Patriots.
I mean, can we though? Because
over under 6 wins.
Ain't your Uncle Patriots?
Under. I'm going under as well.
Under how many wins?
6. I'll go 5.5. 5.5. Over under 5.5.
Hey, both of y'all say under.
I got under.
I'm still going under on that.
Let me look at this schedule.
There is nothing redeeming on that team this year.
Let me look at this.
Look, their defense
lost.
When
They can beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Two,
to bad offenses,
3, 4.
that defense can win you a game.
Okay, they have Ramondre Stevenson. Let's give them that at least.
Okay, I'm gonna say they. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 6 wins.
6 wins,
All right.
I'm gonna go 6 wins. I think Jacoby Brissett. I like Jacoby Brissett.
I do too. He's a good journeyman. I think he's got talent.
To hold it down to Drake May is ready, or Joe Milton the third.
That's what I'm going at. So, give me Milton third. I don't know, man.
I wasn't thrilled with him in college. I'm still not.
I'm not.
Nah. 9 say he was nervous, saying 4. Leave it to me to talk about 6. I'm the ultimate optimist, man.
Yeah. Well, you got Miami winning the AFC, so I would.
Listen, I got Miami winning the AFC East. I'm gonna keep picking against your Bills until Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl and stop underachieving. When he stop underachieving, then I give you right. I'm actually upset with the Bills and Josh Allen because to me they keep underachieving. Man, nothing's gonna be better than what they had last year. It was all set up for them.
It was
on the silver platter.
I know. On
the silver platter.
I was there. It was painful. It was cold and it was sad and it was painful.
You sat through all that cold.
Yep.
All that cold
for that.
We were ready.
Yep.
Anticipating.
Yep.
Finally.
Yep.
Finally.
Yep.
This is the day. This is the time that we get
rid
of. That we banquet.
This is the day that
we were going to exercise the demons.
And all that happened was that bad man just with an unheralded receiving cord did it to you once again. It got you scratching your head. Listen, they were so discombobulated by that loss that they actually traded to help this team get better in the draft. Now, when that happened,
they gave us David Worthy. What are we doing?
I still don't understand.
I remember that. It was not a fun show. I was like, what is going on right now?
Like this. Now, I see it now in the playoffs. Xavier Worthy goes for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns to beat the Bills. Oh, Lord.
If that comes back to I'm not going to speak that into existence right now.
I mean, but the trade with them, trade with somebody else.
I know, of all the teams.
Of all the teams.
Because Keon Coleman's going to go off that game. He's going to light it up.
Cause I'm imagining, I don't see the Chiefs calling the Bills. I see the Bills probably call the Chiefs. Hey, I got this great idea. Chiefs like, oh, really?
Okay. We'll take Worthy. Give him here.
Or if the Chiefs did call, why would the Bills entertain it? Oh, that sounds good to me. Hell no, don't call my line.
Because we want to get them thinking that they've got us this year, and then we're just going to sneak up on them. That's it. Take them out. That's it.
I hear you, man. That's Jeremy. That's the heart of a fan talking right there.
Feel better, man. Sleep better at night, bro.
Yeah. Listen, family. This is As the NFL Turns. This has been your AFC preview show with Carlos, Jeremy, and myself. If this is your first time checking out As the NFL, we thank you for doing so, family. So what we want to do, what we do As the NFL Turns, it's our pregame show. It's the #1 hottest pregame show on all the social media. I've been saying it since last year, and I'm saying it again because it is, family. There are no others like us. And when I'm talking about every Sunday when you tune in, get ready because each one of us will have to pick our straight baller of the day. And we're not through. Then after that, before that, family, we will be bringing you team correspondents from around the NFL. We're going to be bringing you the top line of professionals coming in talking about your favorite team. And on that segment is simply called So listen, family, September the 8th, 10 a.m. Central Time. Mark it down, stack those notification bells, get ready, get your popcorn ready, get your meal ready, get up early in the morning, praise the Lord, get on the grill, and at 10 a.m. Central Time, tune in to As the NFL Turns as Carlos, Jeremy, Coach Rock, Nonfiction, Zach, and yours truly, Dolph Jackson, will be in the building, baby, getting you set for week 1 of the National Football League. Listen, family, it's been a great show tonight. We want to thank everybody who joined us. And listen, like always, family, the doors are always open. So you already know. Come on in. And really, nobody has a better intro song video than us. And we out. We see you later, family.
So clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here, the sound of deafening fear.